Welcome to Life, Death, and the Law, presented by the law firm of Deason, Garner, and Hansen, hosted by attorneys Sean Garner and Adam Hansen.
So you said 135?
Yeah.
Oh, I love this one. Actually, this one I voted yes for.
I did too.
Hot off the heels of a global pandemic where state by state we saw governors using emergency power that's granted to them through their constitution in that particular state. Arizona saw this as well, to lock us down and do particular things. What 135 is, this I feel like is a good one to vote yes on. This amends our Constitution. So number one, my scrutiny is going to be heightened, But then I ask myself, okay, so I'm looking at this through a lens of heightened scrutiny because it is very hard to undo. It's going to amend our Constitution. Okay, so I'm already thinking no, but maybe if this is persuasive enough where it's limiting the government's power or, basically that, then I might consider it. And that's exactly what's happening here. So if you vote yes on 135, that would have the effect of amending the Arizona Constitution to automatically terminate any emergency powers granted to the governor 30 days after the date the state of emergency was proclaimed, unless the legislature extends the emergency powers granted to the governor or the emergency relates to war, fire, or flood. If the legislature does not extend the emergency, the governor may not declare a new state of emergency arising under the same conditions. Additionally, if requested by at least 1/3 of the members of each house of the legislature, the governor must promptly call a special session for the purposes of terminating or altering the emergency powers granted to the governor during the state of emergency.
So they could terminate it prior to 30 days.
Yeah, yep, exactly right. So what do you think's going on here?
So we saw this in the COVID epidemic where gyms were shut down, yet other places,
Bars.
Bars, tattoo parlors were left open, and the governor was allowing for the prosecution of these gym owners, of these churches that were allowed to stay open, or that weren't allowed to stay open under the epidemic because they deemed in their, ultimate capacity that they were not essential, right? Essential businesses. And that was ridiculous. They had tubing down the river was no longer permitted because that was going to be too risky. And what we saw was it was very arbitrary. The governor, the politicians, the media, they picked their pet projects to allow these businesses to keep open, and other businesses went bankrupt because they were closed. And this went unchecked for months upon months. Originally it was 3 weeks, right? Shut down for 3 weeks or 2 weeks to stop the slow or slow the spread. And it went on for a long, long time. This is 30 days. If you see a state of emergency, you get 30 days to exercise your power of governor to try to get things straight. And if at 30 days you haven't gotten it straight, the people got to figure out how to get it straight themselves, unless the legislature goes in and extends it for 30 days at a time. And if we don't think it's a severe enough emergency, then the legislature, just by 1/3 of each body of the state legislature, then they can call an end to the state of emergency.
Yeah, and it doesn't apply to war, fire, or flood. So I think those are good carve-outs. What do you think?
I think it should apply to everything, but I'll take what I can get.
Fire, flood. I mean, why would you need more than 30 days to deal with that?
Right.
War, I could see, but then you could also see them twisting that. Well, we're going to declare war, or we're going to
A war on terrorism.
Yeah, exactly. It's
War on
never
crime.
ending. Sure. So I don't know. You're saying, well, it doesn't go far enough. Well, I think this is good enough to start with, and we can amend it. The problem is this is a constitutional amendment, so.
But it's a constitutional amendment that actually pulls back some rights of the government and gives it back to the people.
Absolutely. Yeah. For that reason, I'm voting yes. So that was 135.
If you have questions or want to know more about something that was discussed today, please call the law firm of Deason, Garner, and Hansen at 928-783-4575 or visit yumaestateplanning.com.